So let's get right into this. These tunnels, these operations, these underground bunkers, the systems of tunnels through the United States alone, they are proven, folks. They go from the East Coast to the West Coast. Their main bunker is under the Denver International Airport, right outside of Denver, Colorado.
Places under Colorado, places you may know of but have probably never seen yourself. This is a place that focuses on all kinds of mystery and conspiracy theories. So what really does go on under DIA?
I don't know.
Every day, on their way to catch a plane at DIA, thousands of people walk over it. And they don't even know what's going on right underneath them.
I wish I did. I have no idea.
Deep down in the trenches, out of sight and mind, there is an underground city. And just like all cities, there's a freeway system. In this case, full of tugs, carts, and sometimes chaos. This is where the airlines move our luggage from plane to baggage claim. And there's no time to waste.
When they're offloaded, they go into the dump belts. Everybody's yelling and screaming, where are my bags, where are my bags? And a lot of times, there's traffic. People get stuck behind other airlines.
This is one of two 7,000-foot tunnels under DIA. It is huge down here, more than 1 million square feet of space. And just over that wall, well, that's the train that you take. It reminds you of an actual freeway system. There are all kinds of signs posted and speed limits to follow.
DPD actually patrols down here, and they actually give out speeding tickets.
And just like driving the freeway, if you get lost, well, sometimes you get really lost.
You come down here, and if you don't know where you're going, you can literally be driving around in circles for hours. Went down, took a left instead of a right, then made another left, another right, and I'm over on the Seacon.
The reason there are so many tugs and carts is because of this. You may remember the airport tunnels as the home of the touted super-duper state-of-the-art automated baggage system. It was used when the airport opened, but never really worked very well. And even though United used a form of it until 2008, it is abandoned now. A looming framework of neglected metal, tracks, belts, and hopes.
I think it was state-of-the-art for its time. It simply cost too much to maintain, and it wasn't feasible to keep long-term.
And then there's this, a piece of graffiti by an airport worker. Or is it a sign of strange things that exist deep under the airport? Is there a secret city down here?
Well, there's certainly a city of people working, but it's not a secret.
What about a military complex?
No military complex.
Never seen that? Have you ever seen them do psychological warfare testing?
Never seen any testing like that.
A lot of people think there's an alien base.
People think that. I've never seen any little green men walking around.
Under DIA, thousands of workers spend their day doing their best to get you and the planes in and out on time.
It's a pretty amazing place.
And if it all works out right, just up the ramp, your suitcase gets loaded onto your plane. So when you get to where you're going, you don't go insane. Okay, we got to get this suitcase to the plane. Turn left. No, the other left. Not this way. I mean right. I mean left. Uh-oh.
Okay, they've been building that for 30 years. With our tax money, our money, not theirs, ours. And we're going to go ahead and keep on getting into it. I want you to listen to this insider on what he has to say. Listen up.
Back in the 1950s, most people aren't aware of it, but there was a scientific storm in America all through the late 50s about this thing out there in space, because the astronomers were all watching it, and that was back when they weren't afraid to talk about it. It was in the science magazines. I mean, I had a subscription to, like, Popular Science, and hell, it was on the front cover of the magazine one day in, like, 1961. And I was really excited when I saw it, because here's this giant red planet on the horizon of the California coast, and a humongous tidal wave coming in towards the coast. And having grew up in the mountains of the Sierras, and this thing in the magazine, it said this tidal wave coming in was going to be at least 3 miles high.
See, folks, they were publicizing this in newspapers and on the covers of magazines. Don't listen to the disinformationalists feeding you a line of crap. The debunkers, they're going to get you killed. DUMBs, deep underground military bases. Hey, people, here in the United States, there's where your tax dollars are going, baby. Right there. Boom. They're spending all of the money underground, and these are beautiful, beautiful quarters. I mean, they are laid out. Roadway systems, health spas, they have the means to grow vegetables, and they have medical facilities. They even have tennis courts and racquetball courts and swimming pools and water purification systems.
Going to show you places that maybe you've never seen before. They are famous places under Colorado, places that people work, that are steeped in history, places that are all underground. And we start with one of the most famous underground places in the world. Driving south to Colorado Springs, it looms in the distance. One of the most famous military bases in the world, Cheyenne Mountain. 1 mile inside the granite, 2,000 feet down from the top, it is a giant command and control center that has kept America safe for 50 years. Inside the mountain are 15 2- and 3-story buildings. They are freestanding but connected by hallways and ramps. There is also a service area to keep the complex running, and even reservoirs, yes, underground lakes. You get inside by driving through a 2-mile tunnel, and when you get to the middle, you see the doors. The 2 famous blast doors that have kept the facility safe when they're closed. The door to this building weighs 25 tons and runs on hydraulics. It's usually open all the time, but if it is closed, then there's a problem.
I mean, obviously, Cheyenne Mountain was built to survive and endure through a nuclear event, and all of us hope that never happens.
The buildings behind those doors were built on 1,300 giant springs that can move independently if there's an explosion or earthquake. They would bounce, but they wouldn't break apart. And that's important because of what goes on inside those buildings. In control rooms like this one, which was set up just for us, experts keep an eye on possible threats. Everything from missile launches around the world to 23,000 objects in space. It includes satellites, the International Space Station, and lots of space junk. The original tenant, NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, is now headquartered at nearby Peterson Air Base, but it still has a command center here in case it's needed.
On the day that you hope never happens, the worst day in American history, their plan would be to come up here and operate out of here so that they would have that survivability capability.
As you can imagine, security for the control rooms is pretty tight. Our security escort said he can't even get inside them.
I can only fantasize about what goes on in there. Maybe a lot, maybe little, but whatever it is obviously important. So,
in the buildings underground, there are other facilities for the 300 to 400 workers. There's a cafeteria, appropriately named the Granite Inn. As everybody knows, it's not easy protecting the country when you're hungry.
Thank you.
There's an exercise and weight room because you can't just go work out at the 24-hour fitness during your break.
All right.
And if you want to find a pickup basketball game against a, say, short Jewish basketball legend, well, that happens too deep underground.
that's how we do it up here in the mountain.
And since many people are in the mountain for long hours, a little shopette provides all the needed staples, like potato chips. All the comforts of home, sort of.
Whenever you're walking through the halls, it's not like, you're seeing rocks everywhere. It's normal buildings, and so it's very easy to forget that you're underground. It's also hard to navigate in this building.
You get lost a lot?
Yeah, I get lost a lot, so.
To keep this all going, there are miles of pipes, cables, valves, and thousands of rock bolts to make sure the granite's stable.
As far as I've known, nobody has gotten hurt from loose rocks falling out and hit somebody in the head.
The place runs on Colorado Springs electricity, but there are 6 giant generators to back up power in the case of an emergency. There are 4 reservoirs like this one that can be used for cooling and drinking water.
Well, this reservoir is like 20 feet deep, and it holds about 1.5 million gallons of water.
And a pet duck lives on this lake, but since it never moves or eats, we're guessing it's a rubber ducky.
I don't know the duck's name. You can give it a name if you want.
Cheyenne Mountain has been called America's fortress. The facility under Colorado is the eyes and ears of the U.S. defense system, watching and listening to what's going on all over the world and even out of this world to keep us all safe. What an awesome responsibility.
Yeah. So they can live and we can die. And if you think for 1 minute that you are going to have the opportunity to go in one of these beautiful bunkers, the common man and woman and child, I don't think so. You better open up your eyes. You better stop believing to the debunkers and the people who spread and spew the garbage out of their mouth. So let's get right into this. These tunnels, these operations, these underground bunkers, the systems of tunnels through the United States alone, they are proven, folks. They go from the East Coast to the West Coast. Their main bunker is under the Denver International Airport, right outside of Denver, Colorado.
Places under Colorado, places you may know of but have probably never seen yourself. This is a place that focuses on all kinds of mystery and conspiracy theories. So what really does go on under DIA?
I don't know.
Every day, on their way to catch a plane at DIA, thousands of people walk over it. And they don't even know what's going on right underneath them.
I wish I did. No, I have no idea.
Deep down in the trenches, out of sight and mind, there is an underground city. And just like all cities, there's a freeway system. In this case, full of tugs, carts, and sometimes chaos. This is where the airlines move our luggage from plane to baggage claim. And there's no time to waste.
When they're offloaded, they go into the when they're offloaded, they go into the dump belts.